Hey there, traders and investors. It's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. Today's a recap for Wednesday, May 12th. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the stock market sell-off. Is this the bottom? Should we be buying the dip like every other dip last year or so? We'll talk about what caused that dip. So obviously the inflation numbers, and we'll look at the charts in the broader market. So before we jump in, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. Going to keep this video a little shorter today. There wasn't a whole lot to cover. So again, inflation accelerated, and it was the fastest pace in more than 12 years for April. So that obviously spooked some investors and the overall broader market. And we saw fear across all of our sectors, the crypto space, the metals, stocks, you name it. And freaked out Canadians open to rate hikes to cool off the hot housing market. Let me know in the comments below if you're a homeowner, what you think of that. Would you be open to rate hikes? Personally, I'm a homeowner as well, and I have a rental property and just sold a home actually, and I wouldn't really be opposed to it. But let me know in the comments below what you think. We could see rate hikes in the US as well, as inflation is running rampant. So if that were to continue to be the case, then we would look to the Feds potentially raising interest rates in the US as well. So all things we need to keep in the back of our minds, but would be bearish for the market. The loonie also hits highest level since 2015 amid commodity strength. And moving on to the crypto space, so as you can see, we were selling off with the S&P 500 and the broader market all together, and we're bouncing back. Crypto having a nice bounce here off of those lows, and we'll look to change the 15-minute trends as we were in 15-minute downtrends across the board. But bulls creating enough of a bounce here to form a higher low, so we'll see how we fare out here into the rest of the day and into tomorrow. But just getting a lot of people lately, I wanted to spend a minute on this, that are asking whether or not, Ethereum's going to top out at 5,000, or are we going to 10,000? Is this bull market almost over? And I just want to remind everybody that looking at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, so this price is in denominated in Bitcoin instead of US dollars, we're only halfway to where we were in the 2017 bull run. So if you think about it from that perspective, imagine if we were only halfway through this alt season and we could see Bitcoin dominance fall down below maybe even 40%, maybe down to 30%. If that were the case, that would mean that Ethereum would likely be back up to 2017 levels. So just wanted to keep in mind, it can always go a lot higher than you think, and it can always go a lot lower than you think for longer than you think. And like I said, it's only about halfway there. So just imagine if we still had another half ways to go. And generally coming on the end of the bull market, we get explosive moves. They tend to happen faster and quicker and more percentage gains. So don't expect it to be the same length of time because we do have momentum now, but just something I wanted to share because I found that interesting. So moving on to the S&P 500 SPY. So today we tested EMA 12 and we bounced right off of it. We hit a low of 404 and we had EMA 12 on the weekly at 404.44. We closed at 405.41, so we closed above it, but we need to close this week above it. So even if we dip below, just similar to the week of the 1st of March, so even if we dip below it here, it's not the end of the world, but we do need to be cautious as we have a lack of support on the daily, which I'll show in just a second. But it's not the end of the world if we dip below it for any length of time, but we want to close the week above. But again, we need to be cautious as well. You can't just say, okay, I'll check it at the end of the week, because we have no support on the daily time frame. So I mentioned in a couple of my videos now for the last couple of days, make sure that you're prepared for another 5% of downside, because from just a couple of days ago, we could have dropped 8% to our nearest daily support level. And now after losing the daily uptrend and losing 410.59 support, just from today's close, we can still drop over 5%. So again, if you're not ready for another 5% drop, then now is the time to start developing a plan. We're down here a bit after hours as well. So it's entirely possible that we see an even, maybe we see a gap down tomorrow and we see even more downside and get extended. Maybe we head to daily oversold and we fill this gap here at 467. Again, previous tops at 400. So old resistance could become new support. We could fill that gap. That would be healthy in my opinion. We could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear across and daily oversold. So again, just watch for a potential flush of 400. Maybe we get down to 396. Maybe we get down to 392 and we just go straight to daily oversold from here. It wouldn't be, completely out of the question. We are extremely weak in all of our sectors today at one point, but we're extremely weak in the tech sector. And just taking a look at the tech sector here on the daily time frame, we have no real support down till 307. So again, I've been warning that for a while now on this channel. That QQQ has been extremely bearish. I've been short SPY and QQQ because I have a lot of exposure to MJ. So I'm going to do another video on the MJ space here in a little bit, but the only reason why I thought, my major holding in MJ like Hexo and MSOS and some other MSOs like Curaleaf, the only reason why I thought those would go down is only because the overall broader market went down. So in order to sleep better at night, I bought QQQ short and a SPY short position so that if the overall broader market falls, I'm basically hedged against that weakness that it could affect send to the MJ space. So it played out well today. I covered some of my SPY short today at 404 at that weekly EMA 12 resistance. And I added to some of my MJ positions as they were getting close to their supports and SPY was getting close to its support. So I exited some of that short and bought a bit more MJ because I did sell some MJ in anticipation of this sell-off right after losing the daily uptrend. And we were due to see weekly consolidation at some point. Nothing goes straight up forever. And here we are testing EMA 12. It's going to be extremely interesting. If we lose and we close below EMA 12, then it's all about 383.90. If we lose the weekly uptrend, that's going to be a significant momentum shift, and the first time that's happened since the March lows here from 2020. We all know what happened in March of 2020. So we'll keep an eye out for potential monthly consolidation. We know we're due for that as well, having not consolidated on the monthly time frame now in about 8 months now. So we know it's coming eventually. But it was a monthly bull flag confirming and just a monstrous face ripper rally. So the dollar was bouncing today, finally did something. But again, topping out at the EMAs, we've been strong resistance ever since we lost it here. And we're topping out again at EMA 26. And then here we are at EMA 12. But looking to close near the high with about a little over 2 hours left of that daily candle. So again, if that closes near the high, that could increase the odds that we see a gap down in the stock market tomorrow. And I'll be looking to buy that dip aggressively for some quick oversold bounces. But I'll be sure to let the private members know my plans in the morning. IWM, so close near the low of the day. Again, extremely bearish, just cruising over some of our major sectors. So QQQ, look at that bear volume as well. Closing near the low. SMH, semiconductors, same thing. 10, the solar sector down over 5%. And daily oversold. So again, more names that go daily oversold, the more that we could see SPY go daily oversold as well. Oil breaking the high of yesterday, so that's notable. No daily consolidation. Another thing that was notable today was MSOS did not, and again, I'll cover this in the MJ video, but just real quick, MSOS didn't even start daily consolidation today. We had some news out about the US potentially setting aside the safe banking for full legalization. Again, I'll do a video on that here in a little bit, detailing that, but I think that's why we could see MSOS showing some strength. I mean, look at the day SPY had today. Massive pullback on the daily, right? And MSOS didn't even break the low of yesterday. So gold and silver were potential daily bull flags, but pulling back a little bit more significantly here now, but still in daily uptrends. But looks like the odds of a daily bull flag are diminishing. XBI, so broke the high of yesterday. We didn't start daily consolidation, but again, we were already beaten up. So saw a little bit of rotation into the biotech sector today. XLE, so the energy sector broke the high of yesterday, but again, closed weak. And that's why we saw that weakness in SPY. We had a nice start to the day. And now we need to be cautious of a potential lower high and a lower low and a potential downtrend. XLF, so the financial sector, a little bit of a lower wick there, but still in a daily uptrend, just looking for its daily high or low. We have support here at 3604, increasing bear volume after coming off all-time highs. And taking a look at the healthcare sector, so coming up on EMA 26 support, but losing our daily support, but we closed right on it, just below it actually. So it's 121.03 after that. But moving on, taking a look at some individual tickers. So DDD and IMV and SPCE got slammed today. Riot as well on the bear list. On the bull list, we had NKLA, MVMD, and AMC. And Tesla, I just want to bring up Tesla real quick. So we did lose 591 and we closed below it down to 585 here. So again, we're going to daily oversold. And now we have no support till 539. If we lose 539, things are going to get interesting, as we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. We could be heading under $500 on Tesla. But again, previous tops here at 502. So old resistance may become new support. I could see a flush. I could see a bunch of people looking to buy this around 500. And maybe we see a drop to 480, 475 to stop some people out. And then trigger some stops. Also trigger out some people who are buying in around 500. There's also people that are likely loading up now. Close near the low of the day. I mean, it's not looking good. Not looking good whatsoever. But once we do bounce on the daily here, it's going to be a massive bounce in my opinion. We got a lack of resistance, about 17% bounce on Tesla. There was some news today that they had less deliveries sold in China than last month. It was about, I think, 10,000 fewer. So stock didn't really respond too well to that. But going to end it there. Again, I'll do another separate video with the MJ Space coverage. So thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap, and we'll see you a little bit later on. Take care, everybody, and best of luck into tomorrow.